Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I'll be showing a recap of the 2019 Chinese thriller fantasy movie titled Big Snake. The film is about a giant monster snake who wreaks havoc in the forest. On a boat, the character Gong and his daughter are sailing in the sea. This colossal snake here devours them all, including Gong's daughter. When Gong discovers this, he gets very worried for his daughter, but a glimmer of hope appears when he knows that all of the people that the mammoth snake eats are inside its belly and are still alive. Spoiler alert, watch out and enjoy. The film opens with a group of people traveling on a boat. Among those people is Gong with his daughter. It was her birthday and he gave her a walkie-talkie as a present. Both of them are talking on the walkie while everyone starts to see dolphins. All of them enjoy the view, but they do not know that the dolphins are not playing, but trying to run away from the monstrosity. The monster that was chasing the dolphins also hits the boat, resulting in all the passengers falling in the ocean. Then Gong wakes on an island with a few survivors but sees that his daughter is missing. They look at another group of survivors and wave at them. Gong sees that his daughter is in that group, so he decides to run toward them when a man stops Gong as he sees a big snake behind them. The enormous monstrosity starts to eat that group, and Gong sees his daughter being eaten by the giant snake. The snake goes into the forest, but Gong gets a signal in his walkie-talkie, which means that people are still alive in the abdomen of the massive creature. Gong is offered the help of another man named Mao. Other people also decide to help Gong as their loved ones were also inside the snake. A group goes inside the office while the rest stay behind and eventually get eaten by another monster. Then the big snake comes back to its nest and throws up the people that it ate. Some of the people that it throws up are still alive, which includes Gong's daughter. They encounter giant snake eggs when one of the survivors breaks the egg. He thinks that if he would break the egg before the hatching of the snake, it would die. But it does not, and it comes outside of the egg to haunt the survivors, but it gets distracted when it hears a woman crying for help. Then Gong hallucinates from the smell of an odd black liquid that came from a strange tree. After the hallucinations, he sees that some of the people in the group are getting strangled by branches of the trees. Mao saves everyone but one person by cutting the branch with his axe. The one that Mao could not save gets killed by the tree. In the snake's nest, the man who cracked the egg was now killing the snake with a rock. He gets very fumed, but a woman named Sushi tries to calm him down. She tells him that they are in an atrocious situation and they have to cooperate in order to get out of here alive. Meanwhile, Mao makes several weapons and gives one to Gong when one of them goes to drink water. In the river, the man sees a fish which immediately attacks him, but he manages to survive the attack by holding the fish with his hands. After throwing away the horrendous fish, he sees that thousands of flying fish approach them. He instantly goes back and informs everyone about the horror that approaches them. Everyone gets attacked by thousands of flying fish as they try to run. There were too many fish, so they had no choice but to attack the fish. They defend themselves with vigor, but eventually the fish outnumber them and they have to run away. Gong points out that the fish can only survive in the fog and they have to get out of there. When they finally reach a land where there is no fog, they get rid of the fishes, but they speculate that they might have to face many more horrors as they see a giant footstep. They see a monster-like creature on the tree when a man tries to hit him with a rock, but he stopped before he could. When everyone is looking at the creature, a giant tongue-like tentacle takes it away, the same tentacle that ate the people in the beginning of the movie. All of the people get shocked when they discover that a giant frog-like monster ate the creature on the tree. All of them run away from the colossal creature, but it grasps an old man via its enormous tongue. But the old man holds tight to a tree as other people also come and try to save him. A man tries to stab the frog's massive tongue, but the liquid that comes out of the tongue hits the man's face, which completely results in the man burning his face. Then Gong comes and hits the frog's eye with the weapon that Mao made for him. The frog feels excruciating pain, which is why he releases the old and all of them run away. They cover a very large distance by running, but the frog reaches them with only a single jump. It almost eats them when the gigantic snake comes back and eats the frog mid-air. Now the giant snake starts to follow them as it tries to eat them. It follows a man, but it gets stuck between some trees. It almost eats the old man and the man whose face was burnt alive. Just when the snake is about to eat them, another man diverges the beast's attention and it starts to chase him. He goes through many small trees so that the monster cannot see him. Then the snake returns back to the old man and the man with the burnt face. The old man manages to escape, while the man with the burnt face gets trapped. He encounters the snake and he begs for mercy. Of course, the giant monstrosity could not understand what he was saying, so it eats him. The rest of them keep running from the snake until they decide to jump inside a small pond where the snake could not find them. The oversized snake decides to head back to its nest. Meanwhile, the rest of them feel a vibration above them and they speculate that the snake is coming back, so they decide to act dead. The enormous snake comes back and throws the man with the burnt face amongst the other dead people. The snake then sees that one of its eggs hatched, but the baby snake is dead. It gets very livid and leaves the nest in anger. Everyone gets up and the rest of the egg hatches. The snake attacks Gong's daughter, but she treats the snake amicably and the snake starts to think of her as a mother. Meanwhile, the man who killed the baby snake and fought with everyone manages to escape, but the selfish man runs away and does not help anyone else who is trapped there. Gong and all the others find an odd abandoned facility in the middle of the forest. They go inside and they discover that it is a laboratory. They also discover a skeleton with military clothes, meaning that it has been lying dead inside there for a very long time. They discover books that show the study of the animals that they encountered outside. This means that they came here long ago for experimentation, but they went wrong, which resulted in the animals turning into all sorts of horrendous monsters. While they are inside the abandoned laboratory, they see a man running inside the lab. It was the same selfish man who left all the other survivors to die. Upon being asked, the selfish man tells them he is the only survivor and the rest of them are dead. After hearing this dreadful news, Gong gets exceedingly anxious about the fact that his daughter might not be alive. All of them decide to spend a night in the lab and they wake up when they hear the noise of a helicopter. All of them run out towards the helicopter and call for help. Meanwhile, Gong hears the voice of his daughter from a walkie-talkie. Gong tells everyone that there are still some survivors left and that they have to save them. Everyone believes Gong when they hear his daughter's voice. They decide to save the survivors when the selfish man runs towards the helicopter as the old man chases him and tries to stop him. Everyone decides to go back and find the snake's nest. Inside the snake's nest, Sushi and Gong's daughter are in grave danger as the rest of the bay snakes try to eat them. But one snake who thinks that she is her mother tries to save them from the rest of the snakes. Meanwhile, the selfish man gets the helicopter's attention, but the gigantic snake eats the helicopter mid-air. The old man attacks the selfish man, but he kills the old man and runs away. Gong finally finds the nest and sees his daughter. He manages to get them out of the nest via a tree branch. Gong gets very content to see her daughter alive, but things take a turn when the enormous monstrosity returns. It almost eats them when Mao saves them via attacking it in one of its eyes. Another man comes and attacks the snake in its other eye, which gives them enough time to escape. When they go outside in the open, they realize that the only way out of here alive is if they fight and kill the horrendous beast. The selfish man keeps running and tries to find a place to find when he trips and falls in the snake's nest. He encounters the snake babies who eat the selfish man. Meanwhile, the snake comes closer to Gong and the others. Mao hits the snake's entire body as it passes by with an axe, but it does not do anything. Mao and another man run inside the forest and the snake follows them inside. They see the same black liquid that caused Going to hallucinate earlier, and the liquid was extremely flammable. Gong tries to go inside the forest and help them. When he goes closer to the forest, he sees that Mao and the other man are coming out of the forest, and they warn him that the snake is coming from the other way. Gong sees that the monster snake comes from the back and eats his daughter another time. Gong gets dreadfully livid, so he decides to attack the snake himself. But Mao again takes the snake inside the forest, where the snake comes in contact with the black liquid. Mao quickly lights the liquid on fire, which leads to the snake completely burning. The snake comes outside completely burnt. The snake is now finally dead, and Gong runs towards the snake so that he can rescue his daughter. He cuts the snake with his axe and sees her hand. They take her out, but she is unconscious with a great chance of dying. Gong keeps trying to give her CPR. She finally wakes and Gong feels blissful once again. His daughter wakes up and they realize that they survived the creatures and everything they went through and how they're safe. They proceed on living their life happily ever after. To watch more explanations of these kind of movies, click on the videos on your screen and don't forget to let me know how you feel about today's video in the comments down below. Kindly like the video and subscribe to my channel. Press the bell icon so you don't miss any new videos. At last, I will say, stay safe, stay well. Thanks for watching.